Hi guys. Today's project. Friend at the office had a friend moving, dropped great grandma's, looks like a Chippendale, two-tiered PieCrust table. Broke the leg off, broke the top tier off. This should be here. And from looking at it, it's had a previous repair done to it. Leg has had some pretty good damage. It's split. So we're going to have to use some epoxy in places on this. The person that previously repaired it didn't get it glued tight enough, and as I see a lot of times, wood glue is not a filler. It glues wood molecule to wood molecule. It doesn't do very well, and if it takes a lick, it'll snap and break like glass, and then this happens. But I barely bumped this piece and she came off. A little chunk right there in the corner. Obviously this is the leg. I've got good wood contact to wood contact. Looking at this, this is mahogany. Oh, I love working on mahogany. Real old mahogany. So, you're going to wood glue it. This is a simple procedure. Dab it, do you? Right. I'm going to epoxy this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this glue off that is here, and I'm going to fill this with epoxy and get it flat, recenter it, drill it again, take a gouge, flatten that out, and drill it again, and that'll give me a fresh dowel in there. Because now I have a glue line and there is a difference here, I'm going to hide this as best as I can. So I'm going to take this scraper because I need to drill this hole out again and the dowel is broken off uneven. I don't have a flat surface. I'm just going to put a little wood epoxy in it. I'll harden it up. And there we go. Saturate it with all the grain and all the pores. We're slipping. Now we got some good squeeze out, and I'm gonna get a good vertical pressure right there. This dowel was broken off and it was all jagged. I put wood epoxy in there and I smoothed it off to where it gives me a drilling surface, nice flat drilling surface, and then we gouged that out and made that even. What I'm gonna do is take little drill bits and I'm gonna start the hole, I'm gonna drill it, I'm gonna pilot it out, and I'm gonna get all the way up, probably stagger 4 or 5 bits until I get up to a 3/8. When I get up to the 3/8, I'm going to put my center finder in there. I'm going to put the leg on slowly and evenly, and then I'm going to set it and tap it and it's going to mark me a center point in this dowel where to put that 3/8 hole. Once that's there, I'm going to set a pin and then epoxy the whole leg back on. There's my center. And actually, it's almost in the center of the dowel, but I wanted to be sure. Alright, I think we're good and gobbed up. Oh yeah. I think I may get some lubrication. Because this has been broken once or twice prior to this last break, this cove here was entirely broken off. I'm pretty sure there's a dowel in there. There's some white substance here where somebody has masked the crack a little bit. The last split, this was busted out as we put that back on and repaired it. The top almost has a serpentine look to it, to where it's been pieced together. There's 4 or 5 pieces here that have been broken out and put back on. So what I'm going to do, when I epoxy this down, because it leans and it has a heavy tilt and it's going to be bad to the eye when you're across the room from it, I'm going to come with, I've got a little adjustment tool here, a couple pieces of aluminum, and I'm going to come to the lowest spot and I'm going to stand it up and weight it down. That way, hopefully, it will cure as square as it can to fool the eye. I've already started with a little bit of color matching. I applied some cherry gel stain on it first, and then I swirled a little walnut, which is a little darker. This low spot. Alright. What I've been using, as you've seen through the process to put it together, regular glue and epoxy and hide glue. I'm using these 3 to put wood to wood. Make up where wood is missing. Then I've got some plastic wood and some colored wax, using that to try to fill in the gaps as much as possible. Then I started to do some coloring. I've got some cherry, some walnut, and another walnut, using these to try to bring it in and tone it. Once I get it to about the color that I want to get to, then I shift over to wax shellac. This shellac is pretty old. It's evaporated really well, and it's real thick at the bottom. I'm using boiled linseed oil with it. Use these 2 to kind of polish it, scrub it down with a scrubby, and just keep adding layers until I get it up to where it looks as good as I can possibly make it. That's the process we're using. And I've coated it a couple of times down here and from here to here, and now I'm just continuing with the shellac. Take steel wool, even it up, and keep going. Once I'm done, then I'm gonna wax the whole thing and we'll see where we stand. And I've done what I could. Last 3 or 4 coats are shellac, and it's got a good shine to it. I'm going to take a little of that shine down. I've got some 4/0 steel wool. I don't want to get too rough with it.
I've rubbed it down, cleaned all the crud off of it. Got just a little bit of wax here. I'm not going to get crazy with this. Need to put a light coat on it. That's it. Luckily the wife gives me her old dish towels. When I see a spot that looks like it needs some attention, I'll give it an extra rub. Alright, waxed, rubbed down, buffed, shined. Remember, this tabletop is even with this one, but the stem is crooked because I repaired a repair, and it's still the original stem. And I believe that's the broken leg. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Sorry it's so long.